Hey, hello. Welcome to T-Ham 141 Homestead. I'm Tracy. Thank God, I think I'm Tracy. Am I still Tracy? I think I'm still Tracy. Welcome to the Homestead, everybody. It has been wild. Oh, I gotta turn that music down. I want to leave it on, but I want to turn it down a little bit. How is it going? Man alive, we had, I think the entire, boy, that's still loud. Oh, wow. Yeah, back to Eden Garden. An hour-long video. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I've done some crazy stuff, but he might be watching the Paul Gauchi videos. Paul Gauchi, if you just search Back to Eden Gardening on YouTube, you'll find some of the tours that he's done. Back to Eden Gardening was very, very popular, and it is very popular, and it's very good. If you're starting with some kind of loose, loamy soil, I think it would be really great. I am still going to continue working on my Back to Eden garden, but I am going back to raised beds this spring because after 4 years, I have like an inch of good topsoil over the clay. And hey, it is what it is. And also I've got some awesome manure. Well, it used to be manure, it's dirt now, from my pig pen. I gotta turn that music off, it's distracting me. From the pig pen from 2 falls ago, that I took off the top layer, and it's been sitting there, so that any parasites in it have probably died by now. But back to Eden gardening, I do believe in it still. It's just not right. Like if you're way down south, they have like creeping grasses and stuff. You still get weeds. You don't get as many, and they're easier to pull. So yeah, this is why I'm talking about the Back to Eden gardening. But yeah, it's very possible I might have an hour video on that. I like the sound of my own voice. Hearth? Oh, the heart. The heart. I forgot to take the heart off. I am sorry. That is the most irritating little thing. It'll only take me a moment. That's okay, because I forgot to monetize this too. Yeah. Wow. Last night was a windstorm for all windstorms. It was bad. I know that my neighbor, Alex, said it's the worst they've had since they've been up here. I've had similar to it, maybe a little bit worse. But so that picture of me on the what? What are you doing? Save? I didn't make any changes. I monetized it. That's all. Okay, customization, and then live reactions. And the little thing should disappear now. Just don't eat the apples. It's the best. No, it's not. Think about this. Okay, now maybe it's because I have a dirty mind or whatever. They were walking around naked. Adam and Eve, the first man, the first woman, walking around naked. They were in the age of innocence. There was nothing that they could do that God would hold against them, that would be considered wrong, except eat that fruit. It wasn't an apple, it was a fruit. Yeah, dude, the perfect woman. You know how we ended up with the women we have, don't you, Remy? Oh, you're going to get me in so much trouble. Angie's going to watch this and she's going to slap me in the back of the head like 6 times when I see her at the conference. Adam said, hey, I have this beautiful creature. And I mean, she was a perfect 10. I mean, she just, and she'll never talk back. And she, you know, they, she'll be kind for you. She'll have a servant's heart. She'll just want to serve you and do whatever you want. And she'll never talk back. And, you know, you'll never have a hard time with her at all. She'll never disagree with you. But Adam, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. And Adam thought about it for a minute. He says, well, Lord, what can I get for a rib? Yeah. Yeah, I walk around naked once in a while in the house. I don't walk around in my boxers outside very much anymore because dude, a couple nights ago, it was last night. Yeah, before the storm kicked up really, really bad. It was starting to. Misty brought me chicken riggies. I ate half of them. I still got half of them in the fridge. I'm going to eat later on. Oh my goodness. That woman can cook. Hey, all I know is I love women. I really, really do. My mom was a woman. They're the best thing that's ever happened to me, quite literally. Second to salvation. Uh-oh, Darren from Thorhaven Farm is going live tonight, guys. We want to be there for that, 8 p.m. Eastern. Dave just got done with his yoga. Oh, I've got to start. I got to start doing something. This winter I have slacked off to the point of I don't even want to weigh myself. The heaviest I've ever been was 233, and I think I've passed that now. But yeah, that windstorm. Wait a second here. Let me turn on my other screen here. It goes boot up. There I am. Come on. There we go. Present. Share screen. Wait, no, entire screen. No, window, no. PDST STY Legion. What is that? I'm just interested to see what that is. Oh, it's that. Oh my goodness, I bet you that's Trevor. Hold on one second, guys. I'll be right with you. Hello, Trevor. Hold on one second. I'm trying to get to the speaker. You are on the air live on the T-Ham 141 Homestead.
No, that's okay.
You sure? I'm having fun. They're saying hi, Trevor, in the chat. He hung up. He's funny like that. Okay, what was I doing? Check into rebounding. NASA says that 10 minutes on a mini trampoline equals 40-minute walk. You could do this inside, so safety or weather aren't an issue. Oh, nice. Yeah, poor guy's got to drive home without talking to me now. What was I doing? Okay, what I'll do is I will separate this. Well, I might as well take you guys with me. Present. Come on. Stream customization. Share. Now we'll take and we'll move tab to its own window, minus it down just a little, bring it over there so I can see it. Bring it up. Okay, that is off. Now I wanted to show you guys what did I want to show you guys? Oh, my picture of let's see, let's go to Canva. Now that I got that, hold on, let me see if I can change that up a little bit. No, not add to stage, remove, stop sharing. Yeah, I'm having fun. I want to show you guys this picture that you've already seen. Ooh, share extra camera. Window, Canva, share. Okay, let's bring this on up. This picture, I did not. Boy, oh boy, it's taking a while. Ain't it? Let me close out Facebook real quick so that can. Okay. Morning, Alex from across the way, my neighbor, Misty's husband. She's a great cook, by the way. Did I mention she's a great cook? She's a great cook. Called me. He said, "Hey, there's a tree down across the road." So I move it, and it turned out to be a rotten tree. I just did it by hand. But that's that picture. And there. Uh-oh. I don't know what I did. I minus down that other screen there. That's okay. We don't need it. We'll shut that right off. We don't need it. It was just sapping. I did not restart my computer before. Usually before a live stream, I restart the computer. And I didn't do it this time. Only pretty girls with the mouth to mouth, please. Oh, I think you pushed the wrong button. Yeah, that's very, very possibly. Say that, Dave. Love to see the actual details of the farming and grocery stores. Yeah. Homesteading on. Oh, down here. The rocket scientists at the University of Michigan said produce from homesteading has 6 times the carbon footprint of farm food. I wonder where they got the money for that study, right? Well, look at the conclusion and that'll help you figure out where that comes from. Here's the thing. Large farming, where they're tilling the ground, there is a thing that plants do. They take sunlight, turn it into dextrose, which uses carbon through photosynthesis, and the carbon goes down through the roots, and it is stored in all these little microorganisms. The carbon is sequestered there. That's why they call it carbon sequestration. And it holds it there. But then you go through and you till and release all that carbon. And so you're not sequestering the carbon. Well, hold on. How do I get into this? And then you're using all these chemicals and stuff like that. When you have a small garden, okay, a lot of people use broad forks or raised beds. You're not actually tilling. You're not killing all those microorganisms that sequester or hold in the carbon. So you're not releasing all that carbon. And wait a minute. How the heck can they claim that the carbon footprint of gardening is high? Plants absorb carbon, you morons. We breathe in oxygen and out carbon dioxide. Plants breathe out oxygen and in carbon dioxide. Hey, Hodges Homestead, you're about to catch a rant here because, they're saying number one, carbon dioxide is not a greenhouse gas. There, I said it. YouTube, all right? Because right now, the carbon dioxide level is just getting high enough. They're seeing certain parts of certain deserts start to grow green vegetation because there's enough carbon for it. Do not buy into the the human caused cataclysmic climate change. It ain't gonna happen, guys. It's not because of humans. Because if you go back far enough, we are like if you go back far enough in the fossil record and in the ice and everything, we are like 1 degree warmer than the coolest part of an age. If you go back far enough in the ice records, that's how they can tell. They can estimate. They get the big ice cores. Why am I reaching down here? You guys can't see what I'm doing with my hand. They get the big ice cores, and then they can test the carbon and the atmosphere that's in bubbles and plants and stuff that's in that certain layer of ice. They're supposing, but if you go back far enough, then there is a time when there was way more carbon than there is now. However, it didn't mention anything about having to drive to the grocery store, the plastic, the transporting only air. Yeah. The groceries. Yeah. Yeah. The lettuce in my greenhouse goes 50 feet. The stuff in the store is trucked in from California. Yeah, and there's the 10-minute, is it the 10-minute rule? Within 10 minutes after you pick, I know it's within 10 minutes. I think it's shorter time than that. From within 10 minutes of picking a vegetable out of your garden, it begins losing nutritional value. Okay. The stuff they're doing to the food, there is like a code. You know those little stickers they put on like peppers and tomatoes and stuff. There is a certain code that tells you that they have done something to that product to make it last. They're waxing apples, they're coloring this stuff, they're injecting it with carbon dioxide. They're injecting it with carbon dioxide to make it a color. Meat, I think it's carbon dioxide that they pump in there in your hamburger meat to make it pink. Hey, Thorhaven Farm, you're in here. I got a question for you, Darren. When you grind your hamburger from your fresh cow, what color is the meat? Is it pink or kind of a really light brown? I'm betting he's going to say kind of a really light brown, but I want to see what he says. Yeah, you can literally take your knife and shave off an apple, try it, and catch the wax on fire. But meat is not supposed to be bright pink. It's just not. And I just want to let you guys know, gray, maybe. I'm going to say more of a brownish. Oh yeah, they put there was a guy who did his our meat is red, okay? But it's not that bright. It's not the same color as the stuff in the of like the ground stuff in the grocery stores, is it? I just got real thirsty. But yeah, guys, the stuff they're doing to our food is not nutritional. It's funny. I watched this. I think it's the ASPCA or some dog food commercial. No living creature. Hold on, got to do this right. No living creature should eat processed food for every meal of its life. What do you think we eat? If unless you garden, everything you eat is processed or contaminated. Oh, but gardening is dangerous because you're coming in contact with that polluted soil. Here's an idea: don't garden in Chernobyl. Yeah, grocery store meat is more pink. It's because they pump it with the CO2 and stuff in order to make it look more appealing to your eye, because over the years, ever since I was a kid, meat in the store's been pink. We call it red meat, yada, yada, yada. But it's a different color than what fresh meat is. 5,000 acres of greenhouses around my use tanker trucks full of CO2. Yeah. Gee, I wonder where it's all coming from. Yeah. It's and the thing is there is a guy who did a greenhouse, but it was a sealed greenhouse in such a way, and the barometric pressures were elevated so that the pores that the plants absorb stuff with, and the pressures were all higher. Hey, life in the valley, it absorbed more nutrients. He had 20-foot stalks of corn. He had lettuce, tomatoes the size of cantaloupes. And just like the Bible says, back before Noah, there was a canopy around the earth. We had a greenhouse thing. Things grew bigger because the pressures were different. When you took in a breath of oxygen, a breath of air, it was a whole new experience, man, because you were getting all that good, pure oxygen and nitrogen mix. And, it just fed all your veins. Maybe that's why I'm so fat and lazy now. I'm not getting enough oxygen. Of course, if I keep getting any bigger, I'll have my own gravity. Bushcraft family, what's up? But yeah, I started off talking about the windstorm we had last night. The neighbors got a big light outside so that the Misty and the kids feel safe being outside at night. We're in the middle of the woods, and I can see that light through the trees in the winter. And that light went out, and I'm like, uh-oh. And I text them, and I call them, and yeah, they lost. It was a couple hours. Was uh-oh, what kind of bud? Got to be careful with that. Oh no. Was there a lot of damage? Tree came down across the hood of my truck. I'm not happy about it. Caved it right in. I managed to get it back out mostly. Now going to need a good. Yeah. Wow. I am so sorry to hear that. I kept expecting last night. Actually, rum. I was expecting last night for one. I have my garage tent with the tractor, and then I have a garage tent that I store stuff in, the lawnmower and stuff. And I was expecting one of them to hit the house. I'd look outside and I could not tell which way the wind was going. It was just swirling. It was just craziness. A new hood. Oh man. Yeah. A car dealer scam putting nitrogen in your tires for $400. Air is 87% nitrogen. Yeah. Yep. Oh man. I remember when my father, they were just coming out with the pay air compressors at gas stations. And my father, he would not use one. I'm not paying for air. Air is free, and the electricity that little air compressor uses that they're using in there isn't going to cost them that. Now it's up to $1.50, $1.75, $2, depending on where you go. That's what I get for taking such a long nap today. I did. I took a nap today. We were making electricity, and I said, you know what? I'm just really tired today, and I took a nap. I videotaped me moving the tree out of the road. People like seeing the Branson do stuff. And I thought that I was going to have to use the Branson to push the tree out of the way. I didn't. I ended up it worked out great. Oh. So yeah, that was a pretty bad storm, and it started getting windy a little while ago too, and it dropped off. It only made it in the mid 20s today, Fahrenheit. Hey Google, what is 23 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius?
23 degrees Fahrenheit is -5 degrees Celsius.
So -5. It only got up to -5 degrees Celsius here. And now it is 18 degrees. I hope my zipper was zipped. Fahrenheit, which is even less. Got down a few killer trees. Yeah, I guess there's one on the other side of the road that Alex took care of that was leaning pretty bad. And he didn't want me to have to try to drive under it. Oh yeah, you can do that. Type weather and then space and your zip code, like Old Man King did, like Peter did, and by now I'm sure that Nightbot is on the job, and he should bring up Peter's weather. He should. Unless something went wrong with Nightbot, that's always a possibility. Always a possibility. I watched Black Hawk Down earlier today. I've been most of the time. Maybe not. Yeah, that might be it. Ones I got down today, tops were broke off, still attached to the trees and mangled in others. Yeah, they were all just a tangled mess of widowmakers. One was I was really worried about a bar. Oh wow, yeah, you got to be careful. Those barber chairs will kick back and beat you. Well, I wonder if I do hashtag. Wait, no, it's not hashtag. It's exclamation point share. Nightbot. Yeah, where is my Nightbot? I'm gonna have to let's go. Let's go. Let's find Nightbot here. Nightbot dashboard. Log in with YouTube, I think. I am T-Hand 141 Homestead. Come on. Keep hitting my button, but it doesn't. Now it's asking me for the permissions? Nice of them to let me know they were going to mess with my stuff. Commands, giveaway, logs, integrations. I don't have. Hey, John, how's it going? Welcome. Okay, let's try WEATHER 13303. See if Nightbot will do that now. That's weird. I've never had a problem with Nightbot. Never. Our young Highland cow was shaking this morning, +8 and raining. Then, yeah. Wow. Animals usually don't really shake from the cold, do they? I don't think they really shake from the cold that often. They may. I guess any tissue that gets that real down to the bone chilling cold in it will shake. Oh yes, don't forget that thumbs up. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, that little notification bell so that you get notified every time I come out with new content. Sorry, that's just like on a record in my brain now. Our one water buffalo was cold today, so we put a blanket on her. Temps went from 10 to -20 in a matter of 8 hours. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, let me see if I can go to my channel. Do 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 do. Be under settings, permissions. Audience. Oh goodness, standard feature. It'd be under permissions, right? Managing standard moderators. No, Nightbot is still a moderator. Huh. She had a big chunk of ice under her hind end. Figured the amount of rain penetrated her thick coat, and then the sudden drop in temp caused all. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you coded your own bot. Cool. I wouldn't even know where to begin on that. But yeah, I'll have to go through it some other time and later this week and go through all that and figure it out. But yeah, our there's some crazy things going on. Crazy things in this world going on. We've got they're changing. They're not calling illegal aliens anymore. Our administration at the White House Geriatric Center is they called them, we used to call them illegal aliens because that's what they were. And then we started calling them illegal immigrants. Then they dropped the illegal and it's just immigrants. And now it's newcomers. Isn't that so nice? They're just new here. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard for me because when I get online to set up the live stream about half an hour, about 5:30, I get on here to set everything up because I have to hook my camera up and my mic and all that. And I get on Facebook and I see, and then when I go to open StreamYard, it opens up Bing, I think it is, and it has the news flashes and Are they legal if they come from the sky versus over the fence? Yes. If you step foot on United States territory, soil, without the United States saying you have permission, then you're illegal. Yeah, kinder, gentler America that is going to kill and destroy America. But yeah, you know, it's not that we don't care for these people. It's just there's a right way to do it. I guess Ecuador, is it? Just elected their first libertarian type president and administration. I believe down there the whole administration goes through it. And holy cow, he has fired a third of the cabinet positions he has gotten rid of, which saves like 30% of the cost of running the government. He is just going through and changing stuff, getting rid of the big over bloated autocracy or whatever you want to call it, the rich men north of Richmond in Ecuador. So I guess they wouldn't be north of Richmond, but yeah. And yeah, guys, they're starting to hit on stuff that is really hurting us. Is it Germany or the Netherlands? They're coming down on farmers to the point where the farmers are taking tractors. Have you guys seen on Facebook that video where the tractors, they've got the government building lane road blocked off. They got like where these little cement pylons going, and these guys are they've been driving these tractors since they were probably 5 or 10 years old, are going in between them. This one guy with a big tanker, and you know what's in that tanker behind that tractor, does like a 3 or 4 point turn with this tank and sprays the cops with manure. Oh man, it's disrespectful. It's wrong as far as in normal circumstances, but sometimes you have to make them hear you sometimes. And I do not, the only time violence is ever proper is in self-defense or combat. And we are not in combat. And I pray I'll never be in a self-defense position to use violence. Spreaders of poops, yes. Oh, they're gray. They're not green, they're gray. I don't know if they would. Think about it. If you looked at this planet and think about it, the United States and Canada, look at the first world countries that we have. If the United States and Canada can still be considered first world countries, look at the first world countries we have and the problems that we have and the idiocy that we're going through. Would you want to come here? No, honey, we will go to planet Zizbit. They're nicer there. They're not trying to destroy their own people. What happened here years ago with Kathleen Wind here in Canada, it was kind of like the trucker convoy with tractor. Yeah. Remind me I need to upgrade my tractor to have a cab. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I don't want a cab because I kind of like being all dressed up in the cold weather and stuff. Now, today, when I was driving down there and I hit the fields, there are fields on either side of the road, and that wind was coming across. I had my balaclava on. This is a Nomec fire retardant balaclava. I was not supposed to keep it after Desert Storm. It was supposed to go in the burn pit. But I said, no, it's mine. They burned the rest of our uniforms, though. I wonder why. But I had this on, and it was my glasses literally froze to my eyebrows. It was pretty cold. I remember a lot of the beef and dart farmers were, yeah. Dairy, yeah, absolutely. Beam me up, Scotty. There's no intelligent life down here. Absolutely, absolutely. The thing is everybody is looking for a utopia, and nobody is we've brought up a generation, and this is not a blanket statement, okay? Because I think is it Generation Z now? Hey, Google, what is the generation between 2010 and 2020 called?
Generation Alpha. According to Britannica,
Generation Alpha. There is hope because Generation Alpha is going back to the old days, growing up like Generation X did a lot. Because mom and dad are working. My grandson, I've got that short on. He gets in the big tire and rolls down the hill, and I'm like, dude, this is my grandson. And then you get the pictures of the kids. They're getting in those little Fisher Price cars and getting pushed down a hill, and then they hit the curb and like flip in the air and stuff. There is hope for generation. Well, it's Generation Alpha, Generation Z. Hey Google, what years were Generation Z born?
according to Wikipedia, in a 2022 report, the U.S. Census designates Generation Z as the youngest generation with adult members. Statistics Canada used 1997 to 2012, citing Pew Research Center in a 2022 publication.
Canada used for Generation Z 97 through 2012 millennials. So yeah, so they're calling these new between 2010 and 2024. They're calling them Generation Alpha. Forestry cab, bulletproof glass. You can do just about anything. The 6-ton, it was about 7,000 for glass, better than dying with the fort, yeah. Yeah, you can up armor a bulldozer. We've seen that, and it was really hard for them. Basically, I think he ran out of fuel. This was in LA or somewhere. About 10 years ago. He up armored a bulldozer, and they couldn't stop him. There are people that stole tanks from National Guard Armory and stuff. What are you going to do against that? Thank God they don't keep ammo in those. We have the pedal cars at my mom's. Me and my brother would race them down the big hill. Whoever hit the creek first won. Car splash. Yeah. We would take our bikes out in the middle of winter and run them into snowbanks and flip over the handlebars into the snowbanks. We would slide across the road from where I grew up was power lines going through, and there were these big, well, what they were big spurs coming off a hill, and they put the power line towers right on top of there. And enough. They put those right the power line towers right on the top there, and we would take snow sleds and slide down those huge hills, and we'd put ramps and all sorts of stuff. And then if we were lucky, we would have an older kid with a snowmobile drag us back up to the top, so we didn't have to walk back up the top. Yeah, Israel uses armored cat dozers. Yeah, absolutely. Um, our military, the engineers, they have armored bulldozers. Um, but yeah, we don't. I want to be careful, just for the fact that okay, you can't say that you're how does that go? You can't say that you're a good person if you don't have the ability to be a bad person. Because if you don't have the ability to be a bad person, then there's nothing good about being good. But if you have the ability to be a bad person and yet restrain the impulse to be bad and be good, then you can call yourself a good person. Um and that's kind of me. I have the capability, I have a lot of the knowledge and all. I could be a very bad person, but God, I don't. That's why I live in the woods, guys. Don't mess with me, I won't mess with you. You mess with me, I'm going to do the best I can to get you to stop messing with me. um but yeah, um one of the biggest things, February for me, it was cat enough. Um February for me in 1991, I was yes. Yes. They make we make sure yes, because hey, if I die while I'm in Canada, at least I'll have the poutine. I'll die happy. Um yeah, because it's weird for me because I usually don't go many places unarmed. I legally, everything is legal. Um but because the world is crazy. We have people in the cities, and yes, I consider Rome, New York a city. It's just a big town, but I consider it a city. It has city sized problems. Utica is a city. Syracuse is definitely a city. I have no use to go to Syracuse. Um, well, there is a Christian bookstore there that is really cool. But I have no use to go to Albany. I have no use to go to New York City. Um, and because we're now starting to see these wonderful newcomers attacking, raping, beating, and killing people. Because one of the reason Ecuador and all these South American countries are starting to fix their um, society is by sending the dregs of their society up here. Um, might be unpopular. I don't care. It uh, but just like with anything else, I don't care if you got bright pink or bright blue hair or both. If you're nice to me, I'm going to be nice to you. Um, if I see you in the parking lot of Walmart, um, and you're struggling with your groceries or whatever, I'm going to lend you a hand. I don't ask, where are you from? Are you a natural born American citizen? No, I'm going to say, hey, may I help? Do you need a hand? You know, you look like you're struggling there. Can I lend a hand? You know, and I do that. Maybe not with that because I don't see it very often, but if I see somebody with their hood up in a parking lot, I might pull up and I'm not very mechanically inclined, but I'm going to say, hey, anything I can do to help? There's this really bad looking accident. I was on my way. I was on my way up the 294 be careful. That one crazy person is taking down my whereabouts where I live. And a truck towing a snowmobile trailer was going one way, and a car was going the other way. The truck hit a deer, threw it into the car's lane. The car hit the deer, went over the deer. The deer was just mangled, laying behind the car. And I saw all this and I slowed down. I'm like, is everybody okay? If nothing else, I have a cell phone that I can call with. I do have medical training. What do they call it? I took the CPR and the first aid course that I took for working with youth was a nurse level class that was given at the hospital. Doc Engel and his wife, he's a doctor, Doc Engel, and she's a nurse. And they gave the class, and that they worked at the camps that I worked with. So that opened that up to me. And and I was a combat lifesaver, all that good stuff. I can give you an IV. I can hit you up with the morphine. Oh, wait. In Desert Storm, the Army took my morphine so I wouldn't use it on myself. They took everybody's, by the way. My buddy Dan just came back from Ukraine. He's a little messed up. He showed me pictures of them holding Russians by the hair like you would a deer with antlers. Just when you can see it. Yeah, guys, God bless our veterans. God bless the people who walk that line and stand on that wall to keep us safe, whether or not we agree with the actions they're in or not, because you lose something in combat. I was in Desert Storm. I was in solid combat for 3 days, and then sporadic combat for about several weeks afterwards, and I'm screwed up in the head. It's you give something away when you're in that position. You have to make the hurting of another human seem right and justified in your brain, even though it might be justified, but it's not what we were meant to do. And I've been watching a lot this February. I've been doing a lot of with the military stuff. I'm finding combat stories and stuff like that, and it's helped me. I've had several weird dreams this month. Usually it's dreams of past events when I was in the war. Hold on a second. I got to let this cat out. Talk amongst yourselves. Come on. You're going out. Yes, you are. Go. Sorry. Sorry about that. My head got all mixed up because I absorbed everything so much. I was so gung-ho that I don't know what I did, what was stories other people told me, and it all melded together in my head, and it screws with you. But normally I had February, because The 15th of February, we crossed the berm into Iraq on a counter reconnaissance mission. We saw some combat. We were about to come back in, right? We started to come back in, and we got hit with an artillery barrage. We don't know if it was enemy or friendly or what. So we did a forced passage of lines back in. Then we went in with the main force. We were the 3rd Brigade of the 1st Infantry Division, Task Force 141. That's T-Hand 141 Homestead. That 141 comes from Task Force 141. We were the 1st and 41st Infantry Regiment, 2nd Armored Division Forward. We went back in. We were involved with the Battle of 73 Easting. Look that up on YouTube. The video. I didn't know this until recently. There was a video put out of from the Apaches, what the Apaches were seeing. It's when the Apache killed the Bradley in the Fist vehicle. The funny thing is while they're talking, I'm counting, okay, 1, 2, 3. That's my vehicle, because it was several vehicles down from me and forward, because they were forward observers. That got hit. And I remember Sergeant Witherspoon saying, pan to the right, pan to the right. And I panned to the right, and he says, what do you see? And I was on thermals. I said, I don't see nothing. It's just red. And so I flipped to normal. I said, there's fire. And he says, yeah, pop up out of your hatch. Look at this. He said, start looking for enemy. And, but on the video, guy really close to my heart, Kayla, she changed her last name because she got married. Her husband, can't think of it now. Tom is his name. He showed me the videos on YouTube, and I'm like, oh my gosh, while they're talking, their sights are going over my vehicle. I'm like, I did not know I was in their sights during that time. But yeah, the Battle of 73 Easting, look it up. It's some pretty crazy stuff. I was in Bradley Infantry Fighting Vehicle. I just heard geese or ducks fly over. You got to pay attention because my chickens are open. My chicken coop is open. And we do have a fox around here. Last Thursday, I had to get up and fire off a round out of the 12 gauge to scare away a owl. But so February's always been a hard month for me. Well, yeah, can you imagine? We're screwed up because of the 50. It was 60 degrees in Port Lydon or Lowville the other day, Trevor was telling me. It was in the mid to high 50s here. And if that's screwing us up, can you imagine what it's doing to the migratory animals and birds? That is craziness. But Jesus said that the seasons will change. Now, I always took that to mean the seasons will continue to go summer, fall, winter, spring, summer, fall, winter, spring. Maybe he was saying the seasons are going to change. Spring will be in February and summer will be, in March. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be back up to plus 15 here. That's Celsius. Hey, Google, what is plus 15 Celsius in Fahrenheit? The chipmunks were out the other day, too. Yeah, red squirrels and stuff are out big time here. Oh, I hear a cat meowing. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, guys. I know this is rude. Where are you? Richie! What do you do? Go to the front door? He's at the front door. Rum dum. They're a pain in the butt, but I'd be lost without them. So yeah, it's going to be 73 Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's insane. This year was a historic low for freeze up on the Great Lakes. I saw a chart the other day. It's by a lot. Yeah. I have friends, Troy and Tina Baker. They go out on the lakes fishing. They've caught some beautiful pike this year. Ice fishing. I wouldn't dare. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to go out on the ice and feel comfortable. All the snow is almost gone, and we're going to have a really dry spring. They're saying it's going to be a really bad fire season. It's got, yeah, guys. Store up tanks of water and a pump so that, you might have a chance at helping your house. Man, we really need to be praying. And for those of you positive thought gurus, think positively for those that are in danger of the fire. We do not need another Canadian smokeout. It was like everybody in Canada lit up a pack of cigarettes at once. I mean, it was dark. It was smoky. Your throat would get all scratchy this summer because Canada was quite literally on fire. That's not the Canadians' fault. It's forest fires, wildfires. California does it all the time. California does it all the time. Well, guys, I've been on here for about an hour. So yeah, that big windstorm going. I'm gonna have to order propane a little bit earlier this year. Last year I would shut my pilot lights. I'd shut the gas off to the stove to save on propane because I only had 100-gallon tank. And then when I got the big tanks, the two, it's now I have two 100. I only had 100-pound tank, and now I have two 100-gallon tanks that they only fill to 80% naturally. But so last year I kept shutting it off, and it lasted for one full year. And liters. There's about 3 liters in a gallon. So 100 gallons would be about 300 liters, I guess. Oh wow. Maybe I'll wait. And I'm down to 20%, about 25%. When it hits 20%, I'm supposed to call and have them come fill it. All the snow is almost gone here. We're going to, okay, I already did that one. My whole area has been wiped out by tornadoes the last few years. I'd say there's probably 500,000 hectares of fuel all around. Oh, man. That's a setup for disaster. Oh, man. $9.53 a liter. Texas Panhandle is on fire now. Biggest fire in Texas history. I did not know that. I don't watch a lot of current news. Well, I do watch Gutfeld and The Five on YouTube. But that's national news. That's more politics than anything else. And I'm trying to stay away from politics. Had to fill the shop in both houses. Yeah. Yeah. It's, so was that $9.53 a liter, or was that 953 liters of fuel that you had to get? Propane. But yeah, man, things are going to start. Guys, I notice a trend that a lot of homesteaders and the homesteading YouTube channels are starting to get back into 900, wow, almost 1,000 liters. That's like 300-400 gallons. That's a lot. But a lot of the homesteading YouTube channels are starting to get back into the basic skills, bushcraft. On the No Borders Homestead site, the No Borders Homesteaders podcast on Patreon, Remy from Rem's Family Farm put up, he put up a butchering chickens video. And I put up my 3 older how to butcher a deer at home, a whitetail deer, from years ago. It's a really old 3-part video, but it's there. Darren from Thorhaven Farm, who is going live at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. I hope to see you guys there. He did a fire challenge type thing, making fire from what he had in his pack. So I naturally went and grabbed my fire kit out of my rucksack and took a little walk out into the woods. You could still hear the chickens. I only own 20 acres and it's long and thin, but did the whole fire starting thing the easy way. So that'll be coming out. But we need to know this stuff. I think on the New Borders Homestead, we just recorded podcast 5 or 6. I forget which one it is. Because we're releasing them twice a month. And there's an hour on YouTube and an hour on Patreon. And when we all get together, oh my gosh, it is so much fun. But we did different skills that you need to have. We filmed 6, yeah. Yeah. Or in French, 6. You got to say 6. 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I right? I just looked it up. 1 million acres engulfed and at least 2 deaths in Texas. Oh my Lord. I got family in Texas. I did it. Yeah. I'm an honorary Canadian. I don't know if Canada's just as bad off, or so, some might say worse off than the States, but it's always nice to have a place where you can go. Yes, we're gonna get me to 10. Yes. It's a big part of the podcast. The beginning, because we started out, it was funny because uh you know how on YouTube, if you let your icon, your mouse hang over a channel, a video, you get the first like 30 seconds or whatever it is of that video, and all you could hear is everybody going, it just, you're like, what in the world is going on there, man? I mean, a French person, somebody who speaks French, would know, oh, they're speaking French, they're counting in French. Which means for 90% of Americans, though, they're just hearing de toi, de toi. What are they doing? What are they saying, mommy? What are they saying? Oh. But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go because Darren from Thorhaven Farm is going live in about 45 minutes, 44 minutes or so. 8 o'clock Eastern. And that's always fun. He said that Brigitte is in a good mood tonight, and he's in a good mood tonight. And I think up top somewhere he said he might even show up naked. And everybody wants to see that. I don't know. He's just weird like that. We need a hot tub live, Darren. We need a hot tub live. What happens in the hot tub stays in the hot tub, or so Remy hopes. Oh, goodness. All right, but I am going to head on out, guys. I will see you over on Darren's live. Check out No Borders Homesteaders podcast. It's a channel on YouTube and Patreon. Guys, we will check out tham141homestead.com. Check out, I'm on Redbubble, Tham141 Homestead. I'm on Instagram, Tham141 Homestead. I'm on Facebook, Tracy Hand. I thought I was going to say Tham141 Homestead, huh? Facebook is just Tracy Hand. I guess I got the Tham141 Homestead on there too, but I don't do much with it. All right. But you crazy people have a wonderful night. Stay safe out there. Don't let the weather throw you off. And above all things, God bless. There.